All right, Wednesday's close, 2:45, Wednesday, November 9. Okay, so I'm now looking at weekly charts again because of the volatility. Here's our Australian dollar. Commodities go higher, which should be inflationary. The Australian dollar should go with it. Money flow is kind of languishing. I give a slant bullishness here. Where the happy place is at, basically. I'm not too thrilled about the long side per se, just due to the fact that it's in a extended down move. I'd be more interested in looking at some sort of shorting area above. If it does break out above here, it does have some follow through. We shall see, though. How this all filters out because of the Hillary elected, everything remains the same. Okay, so you don't have to do much homework. But the Trump one was basically horseshoes and hand grenades, and then deal with it later. Okay. How about this one? What's going to happen with Donald Trump in office? In theory, it's kind of like, how did Obama help us out with equities and things of that nature? A lot of puppet, thing. But I'm trying to think here. The last time we had a brash president, it's behind the scenes type of thing with Cheney and stuff, where they get on this kick. Budgets bloat and spending and things of that nature. It's kind of like racehorses, what they've done in the past. Everybody has their pet project kind of thing. I just kind of look at the big cycle. We're on an upswing in real estate. It should be new housing, also the purchase of vehicles. Autos are 25% of GDP. But the biggest one that we're dealing with right now is to get through the holiday shopping season. For the economy, it's a big, big, big thing. One day doesn't make a trend. We've been beaten up pretty good here, some of us. Both sides of the market, up, down, up, down. It would drive me crazy. I'd rather have the mental health and come back. Pretty good moves, like I said in the previous video. When you have that volatility, usually things narrow out, and Friday is a partial day. So let's just say that the work is done, and I just personally would just kind of stand aside for now, is how I'd look at it. For the Australian dollar, the bias would be higher, but the US dollar is higher. And so it's going to pressure the Australian dollar. It should come up with it, like the Canadian dollar, but not as fast. Okay, here's the British pound. I like the British pound. Like we saw the Commitment of Traders report. Oversold in that department. Money flow is oversold. So anything above a breakout on 125.5, then I'd shoot for, what's this? 130.87.85. We'll say 130.85. We'll say 137.80. First area. Median line here is 133.30, and this one is 127. So from 125.5 to 127, and then into the 30s is how I'd look at this here. A higher oil, maybe the pound goes with it. North Sea, that kind of thing. You can see that price is tagged up here on the upper linear regression line, and also pegged down here. So my bias is up, just the money flow, the commitment of trade. If I had to stare at one thing for the next couple of weeks, it'd be the British pound. Canadian dollar, kind of outside weak here so far. The money is still in there, and that would pertain to oil. Oil stronger, would move higher here. but it's taken a little bit more time than I thought to get kind of a spring here for a bull flag. That's way too much time. All right, here we have the euro traded higher, nice shorts up in here. And then we closed at the low of the day. The arrows here are the SAR, stop and reversed type of deal. Okay, so when it hit here, you get an arrow. So then down arrows, I look for places to short. So here you'd probably, you banged off of this, that would be the short actually. Down to here, you with the short here, then the dot is actually inside the arrow. You'd look for longs. I'd pass, that I'd like this thing short and came back, gave us an opportunity overnight. I'd look for the euro to go to below, what's this, 108, 106, 108, 104, so just play the evens down. Okay, if you're short, just hang in there. You can just place your stop up above. That's pretty lengthy, but that's just the whole mechanical part of it all. Euro, and eventually this on-balance, or this money flow will wash with this here. It'd probably go with this median line here. So where's this at down here? 103, yeah, so we're talking what, 500, 400, 600 pips lower. That's what I'd be looking for, and the dollar to take off. So it looks like the whole Trump dollar thing. Under Reagan, the dollar got to 164, and we're approaching 100 now. Yen looks like a reversal, so as the yen comes down, okay, there's some news out tonight, maybe a bounce in data. I think it's machinery tool orders, I think. Maybe a bounce here. Then what I'd do is I'd buy the US yen or yen crosses on it. Not much came in here. Not a lot of people wanted to go after yen strength here. They prefer yen weakness. Okay. Which means that the trend will continue. Our friend the Mexican peso, all over the place. Here's the open, here's the close. As this goes lower, the US Mexican goes higher. It's getting to be a washout, so I'd look for a reversal on the Mexican peso to go up here. Set me an alert. Okay. Same thing, nice outside reversal here on the, these are weekly on the Kiwi. So the Kiwi would come down. We talked about this before, that I remember in November that Kiwi would come down. There's one, right? October, November. The Kiwi comes down in that time period. Swiss franc reversal here too. I'd expect the Swiss franc to continue lower. To come down, to continue lower. It's just due to the fact, then that would also go along with the whole gold thing, right? Gold's buried in Switzerland, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But yeah, the Swiss franc would continue lower, so the US dollar Swissy would go higher. So short the Swiss. A lot of room here in crude oil. Any strength on crude oil up back into the 50s again. I think I only said 46, 47, but that was like a swing. We're 40, what's this, 45, we'll say 46. This is the weekly happy place. This would be overhead supply kind of thing. Stronger dollar, weaker oil. Excuse me. $88 and dry. It's all dry, Kev. You only get 4 inches of precip a year. It's always dry here. 4 inches of precip. That's right. You can smell rain maybe 3 times a year, 4 times a year. I was here one year. It rained, but it was so hot it was sucked back up, and the lake turned that limey green color, that nuclear kind of radiator fluid. Radiator fluid. Not the pink stuff, no, the green stuff there. And it got pretty violent. Tore the Boats off their moorings. Oh. All right. So a lot of bodies right now. Money flow is in oil. I don't know how much up there is, but above 47, then we play the same game again, 48, 49, kind of walking the dog. But I expect that this is just a large sideways pattern at best for the bulls. It's a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder again. A large sideways pattern with a stronger dollar. Okay, here's our dollar. Reversal off the median line. We're at the highs. Yes, for the bears, you could say head, shoulder, head, but not a lot of money flow. So there will be people chasing after this. I have 101, 103 on the upside. That will begin to cause problems for the conglomerates because, well, on the weaker dollar, they don't have to sell as much. The repatriation of dollars makes it look like they've done their job. Here, they get to blame the strong dollar or weather. Why they don't hedge, I don't know. Here's our friend, the ES. All right. Banged off this median line when it was at limit down. This area is the 70, so on the way back down, 70. I cleared the 70% area of the shaded. This is where 70% of the trade. Look at that. Amazing how that happens. Stops right before the reversal of the SAR, and that's just a straight default, and that's where we closed. I have to believe that we're just going to trade sideways here. I don't expect us to have a hard reversal. If we do on a weekly basis, look out below. All right. Candlesticks, 50% has to hold. So what do we have? 2130. I better do it that way. 2130 should work. Should hold about halfway, roughly. I'm just trying to tie it in with this. But we're basically back to the same thing again. What's a daily look like? Okay, so this was Friday's low. This was the run up. Let's do it this way. Okay, so that's the high. Friday's low, gap up on the Hillary deal. Tuesday, Wednesday, traded all the way down to here, came all the way back. That's a lot of pain for people. Handle it mentally. And like we saw on Friday, the money flow came out of it, washed it out. So they had they had to chase after this thing. I mean, you could actually have Trump supporters thinking that Hillary was in and you bought calls, and then it's awful. I'm just getting a headache just looking at this thing. What's this upper part here? 2170. All right, I'm going to cap this sucker off at 2170 for now. And also came up to the 70%. See, that's how mechanical this stuff is. I mean, look at this. This whole bar, this whole swing, all of this, all the way up to the 7. I mean, it's there. You just start marking this stuff off, and they'll nail it. Pivot points and moving averages and on and on and on. They'll bang on those things. All right, so that's that. I want to look at this here. I want to change this up a little bit. So we have that fat bar. About a 2 hour. Okay. So here, broke through the median line and came back through. Traded all the way down to the lower line. Came all the way rushing there. This was the open. All right, so what's the pullback? 2130. So the previous high, roughly, 2134 area, previous high. That would be the pullback overnight. But this has got to hold. 2107. That would be, this is the morning's open, right? Yeah. So 2107, that's the other thing too, of course, is that when you have this wide range, things are further away. The risk, like if you came down here and bought, if you bought, your stop would be, just say this line underneath it. And these would be your targets. Same thing, came down here, blasted through, opened up right here at the median line, came up. Is there one more? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're missing one here. 4 hours. Right, 5 of them. Bam, right here. Here's one. What's this up here? 2180. Okay, so ultimately here we're looking at 2180 on the upside. So if there's any carryover on Thursday, Friday, 2180 would be it. And I'd look to support. Okay, so what do we have here? 20. We're basically we're close in this area. What's this one? The 34. So we're back to the same thing. We're in the larger deal here, but after Tuesday's sell-off, here's the money flow. Pretty good move up here. There's still more to run. Hand carry the ball overnight. Let them aim for 2180. That's 20 points higher. And the stop would be, your reverse would be down here. Be careful though on a whipsaw. Like, yeah, everybody has 20-point stops. I aim for, so 20 points up. If you can get this over, I'd take Friday off or whatever. Oh, but if you are in here or whatever, let it run. Let this thing run, okay? Because moves like this usually, like I said, when they blast through one side and they come back in, they usually blast through the other one. So 2200 would be a nice target here. Which means I'd have to take more crap. Which is fine. I don't mind crap. Usually tells me I'm onto something here. What's this one? Gold. All right, gold. Yeah, that's right. 1250. Gold loses 1250. Where'd my little thing go? Gold loses 1250, then it'll be cut in half. That's how I look at it. You can understand it after a couple more days of people talking about Trump and his economic policy. It's going to be inflationary. That's good for metals, right? But the interest rates will have issues. You go to the bank, you go, hey, I hear you have gold in your downstairs. I want to lease some of that stuff. Okay, here's the loan. This is what you owe us in points. Have fun. All right, where's my open on here? Below my arrow or something. What are these guys? Okay, so this did move overnight. I did see the same thing like with the British pound here. These are euro dollars. Okay, I didn't push anybody there into euros, but it did have the world famous oversold look to it. Okay, daily, that'll work. Okay, so bodies moving to euros on the upside here. They did do the whole reversal thing. Would be people parking their cash. We'll just say per month, per quarter kind of thing, that they're parking cash. So people actually came in here and kind of parking it. So it's one of those. It's like the whole Missouri show me if you got it. So they may be parking here on the front end the money because of the volatility. Causes issues too. Copper, now we're getting some flow here on the weekly. People are beginning to pick up on copper. It's at the upper. That doesn't mean it can't continue because this just contains the data points that it already has. So obviously if this pushes, this line will move out, but bodies are actually moving into copper. And I want to see it this way though. I want to see how many bodies actually, kind of just got in recently. Fat bars, lots of volume. Okay. And where are we at? 46. So we closed at the high. That was pivot there, right? 44 too. Go to the whole side. All right. Just to keep an eye on stuff here. That was a nice breakout, but too much volume right here for me to chase after this kind of thing. I was looking for, mine was at, actually I'm looking for it to come back through the other way with the strong dollar. Even though copper's moving up this way, what are you going to have? Producers selling, even hedging. So in theory, yes, it's a nice breakout. But basically you're kind of stuck in this channel again. And you're getting bodies just to get into it now. I'm sure they're going to talk this thing up. It had a decent sideways move on it. Like I said, I wasn't interested on it. It wasn't my thing. If I would have changed my tune back here at the beginning of the year, I didn't go after the copper as much. I went after like gold and silver because at the time that's what they were talking about. Didn't spend much time at the beginning of the year looking at copper, but now people are finally realizing it there. But I will pass. Heat in oil. Here's the happy spot next to the linear regression. Overhead supply, a lot of sideways for the bulls. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Not much of the money flow. People really aren't interested is what I'm grasping. So it would be susceptible to a move push higher. That would be some sort of news related or weather. But for me, I would rather pass. It's just not my kind of setup. Natty gas, we had a bounce today. What's this here? We'll call it 280 as overhead resistance. What are we looking at? December contract. Okay, so that's a dime off. The lower end down here is 215. We'll call it 216. Linear regression at the low end is 189. We'll call it 190. This one is 288. Okay, so overhead would be 280, 288, and the reversal here would be 330 for right now. Yeah, I would have to get over this. For me, though, it's basically, for the bulls at best, it's a shoulder, head, shoulder. There is a lot of flow here, so it would be susceptible to a move lower. We have EI8 tomorrow. I don't think I'll be recording that. A lot of you guys are already at work, so I'll try and shoot you out. My bias would be, you know, they did kind of swipe the lows down here. My bias would be is on any dip, kind of play a bounce per se. What am I looking for here? Yeah, maybe a flag down to here, 266, 267. There's my little alarm guy. And then chase after to 280. Create. Okay. Oops, I already did that one. Don't do that again, Kev. So this is how I'd look at it. I'd look at it to come down to here. This is a pivot. And then move higher up to here, 277 and 284, we'll say. Not a lot of money flow. This is on a 2-hour chart. So it is susceptible to, I'll call this a bull flag to move higher for whatever reason. I think oil went up today on a drawdown or something. I don't know. I didn't follow it. Okay, so the NASDAQ closed right here on the median regression line. I'm going to have to look at the internals to see what they did. Money flow didn't come in there. I wonder if people are going to pass on this stuff. Into this area. Where's the money? Okay, on a 2-hour, there's still room to run. What is it? Usually if you pull, this amount is what you blast through on the upper end. So the NASDAQ, we're back to a double top. Your target here on the NASDAQ is a double top, and your support would be 4,800. Amazing how these numbers come back. So 4,800 is support, 4,860, and then 4,920, the old highs, 49, 49.20 area. Maybe for Friday. That would be a hell of a stretch. Sugar. Where's my close on this one? Where the hell are my closes? I don't see my little nipple. All right, so not much here. I'll pass on this one. I believe this one was writing calls and buying protective puts. It's not falling apart, so that's kind of a good sign for the bulls. But have your alarm underneath here, like, what's this one? Where are we at? No, it's not on there. I'm not missing much. Yeah, okay. All right. 21.16 or so, 15. All right, silver. 1925 for overhead resistance. Money flow. Maybe some chase up to 1925, but I'd prefer to find the areas to short, to tell you the truth, because you're going to be fighting the whole inflation interest rate thing here, judging by how bonds cratered. This one, a hell of a reversal here. This is your Russell, like with your TNA. What's the next move? 1250. So we're back to the same levels again. What was it? 1200 was support. So we're just back into this area here. like I said, I'd rather pass. Now here's ultra bonds. What are we talking? 158. So another 10 points to fall here. If you fall another 10 points in a week, we're definitely gonna, we're gonna not stop talking about interest rates here. Okay, I was looking for 22 to 24. I think I sent that email out 2-3 weeks ago was the target. 22 to 24 got up close enough, reversed. Okay, so now we're down into this area where we talked about it before, buy at 15, buy at 14, buy at 13, buy at 12, that kind of, and sell it at 16, at 17, and 18. But sideways action, this thing's just going to drift. Okay. So you don't have to be too eager unless we do get some sort of full reversal here. The Dow, I can see you guys marching this thing forward. And that's what it looks like with the setup here. Our news is the news is gonna be Dow related here, just by how it is. I mean, the Dow looks better than the NASDAQ. All right, there's our bonds. Bam, lower regression here. If you're short, you begin to do things like write puts against it. Just march it down. That's a hell of a bar. That is like Crater City here. Look at that. Yeah, that's a long end too. All right, corn. Yeah, that's about the end of that story. Money flow. I think money flow is going to come out, and corn's going to go below 320 for sure here. Yeah, post harvest. Stay short. Stay short grains. Fives, same thing. Going to continue lower here. Yeah, we found who we needed to find to kind of jack rates. Oil, same thing. Weakness here on soybean oil. Soybean meal may get a little fluff here. Spreading. Not as much as the money flows that we saw in beans. Or no, these are notes. So notes came down. Notes still have room to move 126 from here. 126. Yeah, just that was, and the money flow here can come out of it. Yeah, we're going to have a quick move in interest rates. All right, here we go. Watch those beans. They were down nicely today. The money flow is still up there. Like I said, I think they're going to come down here. Every dollar is $5,000. What's a margin on this thing here? Is it 2,600 bucks. That's not bad. So that's basically a double down to this lower area. That's how I'd lean. All right, and twos, same thing. Keep selling them. Gosh, can't believe how bad those bonds look. And the wheat. Yeah, wheat is susceptible here too of a rollover. Yeah, short on the beans. So we've gone all the way back. So there you have it. Commodities. And I'll post this and talk to you guys later. Let's go take another look at up here real quick. Dollar index. Looks like the dollar's going to run. Yes. Well, I'd be cautious. This is a pretty good move. It should continue higher. Just be cautious. All right, so 50, 32, which is previous high. This is pivot, 2120. So we're back to that game again. Basically it, and just as it moves higher, just move your stops up underneath it. And just let it run here. See if there's any continuation. Yeah, that usually is a springboard. When you blast through the other side. All right. Okie and a dokie.